everyone, and welcome back. My name is Erin. I have two little kids. I run another business, a wine club subscription business. I also work part time as a wine educator. And honestly, I don't have a lot of spare time, but I've decided to take my art seriously and try to start selling my art. So here I am. And now I'm making a YouTube channel because I had tons of spare time. So here I am. Thanks for following along. So I stepped away from my art for a while. I've kind of been in and out for years. I started when I was young and um, yeah, never really took it seriously. I started painting again here and there, but about 6 months ago, I started taking it seriously, and I actually felt this really creative urge to paint again and get back into something creative and just work with my hands and make something again. So when I was younger, my dad had a big influence on me. Well, my mom and dad, because they enrolled me in a lot of like art things. I remember that they enrolled me in like a drama course or like where people were in a play, but instead of actually wanting to act and be in the play, I just started making props, like background props for the play without anybody even asking me to. And then during the actual play, I would just set it on the stage. Like I remember making this paper mache bird and no one asked me to make it. I was just like, I'm going to make this and paint it and put it on the stage during this play that I was in. So I definitely didn't want to be front and center on the stage, but I wanted to be creative and make something. So I helped in other plays along the way in my middle school or high school as well, but it was yeah, just behind the scenes and helping that way. Um but my dad, when I was a kid and now, whenever we would go to a beach, he would pick up a round beach stone or rock. He'd find the perfect one, and then he would bring it home and paint a scene, paint something on it, a landscape on it, or sometimes he would do like puffins. He got us to do some like Disney characters sometimes. So that's where that kind of love of painting started. And I just thought he was so good and he's so detailed, and his landscape rock paintings today are very, very detailed. Um, my uncle also has a background in drawing. He drew a lot of the backgrounds for some Disney movies and some merged with Blue Mountain. And then eventually, I think Pixar bought it all. I'm not sure if he was there when it got merged with Pixar, but anyway, he has done a lot of backgrounds and he's um, very good at drawing and painting and that kind of thing. So there is like this creative kind of drawing background in my family, which is really cool. My mom always toll painted, and did anybody's moms ever toll paint? I don't. Why do they call it toll painting? I don't know. But she used to toll paint all these signs and like "Welcome to our home" and just all those like cutesy kind of homey things. So there's definitely a lot of like painting and crafts and that kind of stuff going on when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved that. As I went along, I definitely um, didn't do as much into art. When I got into high school, I did like the IB art program, which was okay. It wasn't it wasn't as good as you would think. Anyway, it just continued kind of my love for art. But what I really kind of struggled with was I just wanted to paint what other people were painting because I see people's art and I'm like, they're so good. Like I just want to paint like that. And so it's been hard trying to find my own style and just painting kind of free will. Yeah, so but it's been fun getting back into it. Then I kind of a short funny backstory. I'm only going to include it because it's kind of funny, but I did a Bachelor of Science degree and I wanted to be I feel like every kid wants to be a marine biologist at one point, like work with dolphins and whatnot. And then I realized that that's just not a very good thing for the animals. So I definitely moved away from that direction. But one of my ichthyology teachers, professors in university, which is like the study of fish and the movement of fish, hilarious. Um, he suggested that I try being an at-sea fisheries observer. And I was like, okay, cool. Just kind of graduating from university. So I went to the Marine Institute in Newfoundland and I took the at-sea fisheries program. Little did I know like what I was really getting into. Anyway, so I was an at-sea fisheries observer on crab boats on the Grand Banks of Newfoundland, like out in almost the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Me and with the fishermen, and I would just measure queen crab all day, and I would just sleep because I would get seasick a lot. I would like wear those patches. Anyway, long story short, I decided that that was not for me after about 6 months of it, and I decided. Quite a big turnaround. I decided that I was going to study wine because where I grew up and where I went to university is kind of an emerging wine country. So I was like, oh, this is so neat. I'm so interested in seeing this evolve and I want to be part of it. And so I did. So I took my sommelier certification, the CAPS, like Canadian Association of Professional Sommeliers. So I took that and graduated in 2017, and I've been studying wine. I took my WSET level 3. I did French Wine Scholar through the Wine Scholar Guild. So I've done a lot of wine education along the way, and I worked at a wine bar in Halifax. And I've just done a lot of wine related things. And now, so I teach part time the CAPS program, which has gotten a little bit overwhelming for me just because it's a lot of pressure, especially where I don't really find the time to keep studying and keeping up my education in it. So I find that really hard, especially with kids and where their activities are getting, they're into more activities now and more things. So it's just really tricky for me. So I think I'm gonna step away from that a little bit and focus more on just my kids and my art and my health in general. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of time and my wine club because I still have my wine club that I run as well. So I guess in the past 6 months, about 6 months ago, is when I kind of had this motivation and wanted to get back into painting. And it has been just a lifesaver, really. It has made my year so much better. I was going through a hard time. My 2026 and Christmas of 2025 started poorly or went poor. My husband and I were trying to get pregnant with our third child, and we had a miscarriage, and I had to go to the emergency room. I spent Christmas Day, the afternoon on Christmas Day, um, at the emergency room getting my blood work done and that kind of stuff. So that was definitely a hard day because we had our whole family over for brunch, and there was probably like 15 to 20 people over for brunch, and I was going through this um, miscarriage, and then I went to the hospital after that. So it was a rough Christmas, but I wanted to see my kids obviously open their gifts and things like that. So I was around for the morning and we had a wonderful Christmas morning and then spent the rest of the day at the hospital, which was really sad. And then a couple of months later, we tried again and I had a partial molar pregnancy. So unfortunately, uh, I guess it's kind of like technically a miscarriage again, but partial molar pregnancy, you can look it up, but it's not very fun. And so I had to have surgery for that. And the surgery, my husband was super stressed. I was super stressed. So yeah, going through those hard times definitely painting was a good outlet for me because it is one of the only things that I can really do and just like shut my brain off, and everything else, like I said, I just black out when I'm painting, and then I come out of it after 4 hours and I'm like, I don't know what happened. So for me to sit and paint and not have to think about any of that stuff and just clear my brain and focus on painting really helped me through those times and kind of those darker, kind of longer days. So just to get out of my own head, which was really, really great. So I'm really thankful for painting. So if you're going through something difficult, I hope that painting or doing something creative, like it's such a good outlet. Physical activity, people, a lot of people go to that as well, which I do. I love running as well, but painting and like being creative and just getting your brain off of everyday life sometimes is a really good escape. So I really encourage everybody to um, find something that you really love and that you can just, your brain just goes right into it. You can really focus 100% on it. I also took up painting is because I just wanted something to have at home that I could focus on and step away from my computer and the internet and social media and yeah, just all of that kind of mental stuff that you see online. So it was a good escape for me. That's where my kind of origin story and why I'm doing this. I also just want to document everything and show how I did it. Yeah, how I grow along the way, like what that journey is like. So I hope this is helpful to some people out there. If you are going through a hard time, or if you're thinking of maybe leaving a job or being miserable in your job, finding something on the side at first, I think, is a really good idea before really jumping all in, like just dipping your toe into something like a business that you're thinking of. If you want to be your own boss, be an entrepreneur, that kind of thing. So I hope this can really help people and just show how my journey and how all the steps that I took to get to my art launch and after that. So in the next few videos, I hope that I can highlight some of those points like leading up to my art release. But I'm just so happy that you're here, and yeah, thank you. It's fun. I am definitely in a much better place now. Summertime, I get to spend every day, mostly every day with my kids because I'm a stay-at-home mom. So it's hard to find time right now to paint and to get some of these little videos out. But here we are. We just tried them in my car, had a coffee. I'm fully caffeinated. And yeah, hopefully I get to paint in the next few days because I'm almost done. Kind of a partly commissioned painting that I'm working on, a kind of a coastal looking painting. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening to my story. And again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments box. And yeah, thanks for being here. Bye.